Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Well folks, today I would like to make a very special blog for my mom's 63rd birthday, which was on August 10th by the way, and I think I know just the movie to look at. Now you may remember, back in 2017, I looked at DC's live-action hit movie Wonder Woman, which was, in my opinion, a really amazing movie, mainly due to the story being set during World War I, and I still say that Gal Gadot does an outstanding job playing Princess Diana. And of course, just last year, during this terrible pandemic, I looked at Diana's 2009 animated solo movie from the DC animated universe, which was also amazing due to the writing, action scenes, and great voice talents like Kerry Russell, Nathan Fillion, Alfred Molina, Oliver Platt, Vicki Lewis, and Tara Strong. However, for today's episode, we're going to look at a Wonder Woman movie that I've been breathlessly wanting to blog ever since before COVID. So, let's get started. Released to HBO Max on December 25th, Christmas Day 2020, the movie is Wonder Woman 1984. So, on for the plot of the movie. Diana Prince lives quietly among mortals in the vibrant, sleek 1980s, an era of excess driven by the pursuit of having it all. Though Diana has come into her full powers, she maintains a low profile by curating ancient artifacts and only performing heroic acts incognito. But soon, Diana will have to muster all of her strength, wisdom, and courage as she finds herself squaring against Maxwell Lord and the Cheetah. So, how was this sequel? Was it as good as the 2017 movie? Well, let me describe it like this. Yes, it's a great movie in my opinion, even better than Batman v Superman, but compared to the 2017 movie, it comes pretty close to being good. But now, let's move on to Mustang notes. The director of the film was Patty Jenkins, who previously directed the 2003 biographical crime drama Monster and the first Wonder Woman movie from 2017. Discussions of a sequel began shortly after the release of the first film in June 2017, and the decision to proceed was confirmed the following month. Principal photography began on June 13, 2018, with filming taking place in Warner Brothers Studios in England, as well as the District of Columbia, or Washington, D.C., and Northern Virginia in the U.S., London and Duxford in England, two of the Canary Islands, and Almeria in Andalusia, Spain. Production wrapped up on December 22, 2018, after a 6-month-long shoot, with additional filming in July 2019. Also, aside from Patty Jenkins returning as director, Aline Bonito returns as production designer, and Academy Award winner Lindy Hemming returning as costume designer. The film's editing was done by Richard Pearson, and the visual effects for the movie was done by Double Negative, or DNEG for short, Method Studios, and Framestore. Oh, by the way, Alexis Wajbrot served as Framestore's visual effects supervisor. Now, one example of why I think this is a pretty good follow-up in the DC universe is because this film is set during the 80s, which is kind of a fan-favorite decade of mine, even though I wasn't really alive back then, but you know what I mean. Also, I find it interesting that this movie includes the science of geology and gemology, or the science of rocks and gems. And in my opinion, the Dreamstone, which according to the movie was created by Dolos or Mendacius, the god of mischief, also known as the Duke of Deception, is a very important and interesting subject in this movie, due to it having the ability to grant wishes, but it also absorbs the strength and humanity from the wisher. Also, Aside from the action and fight scenes, I liked the opening prologue, which takes place during Diana's childhood on Themyscira, where she learns a valuable lesson about truth during an athletic event. Plus, I think the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. is a very interesting place filled with museums and research centers. Also, I can't believe it's been about 7 years since my last visit to D.C. Also, I like that Linda Carter, who played Diana in the 1970s TV series, makes a cameo in this movie. And now let's move on to the cast. Our main heroine, Diana Prince, aka Wonder Woman, is once again played by Gal Gadot, whom outside the DC movie universe was in 4 of the Fast and Furious movies and Disney's Ralph Breaks the Internet. In my opinion, Gal Gadot does an equally outstanding performance as Wendy. Also, Gal has described her character in this movie as wiser and more mature. She's guarded and lost all her friends throughout the years, but she's still doing the right thing. Yet, she is different from when we last saw her. As for my thoughts, I think Diana is a strong, confident, and independent woman, and I would like to consider Wonder Woman as my second favorite DC superhero, first being Batman for those who don't follow me. Also, I like that Diana has taken a job at the Smithsonian Institute. Next is Steve Trevor, played again by Chris Pine, whom was in Princess Diaries 2, Star Trek 2009, Rise of the Guardians, Into the Woods, and A Wrinkle in Time. Now, if you may recall, Steve was an American pilot and spy from World War I who had died during the events of the first movie. Apparently in this movie, Steve was brought back to life when Diana unknowingly made a wish on the Dreamstone. Anyway, in my opinion, Steve is still a courageous, bold, dictated, and determined man. Plus, Steve has a loving and a caring heart. Also, little does Diana know that this version of Steve is actually possessing another man's body, and the Dreamstone is draining Diana's strength and her humanity. Next we come to one of the film's antagonists, Barbara Minerva, aka the Cheetah, played by Kristen Wiig, whom has been in the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, the Despicable Me trilogy, the 2016 Ghostbusters reboot, and she'll be in A Boy Called Christmas this holiday season on Netflix. Now, the last time I ever saw this character in a DC movie was during the ending of the 2009 animated movie. Anyway, despite the fact that Kristen Wiig's performance doesn't feel very villainous, I think Barbara started out as a sympathetic scientist, and I thought she and Diana made decent BFFs until she was manipulated by Max Lord and she became imbued with mystical abilities that gradually transformed her into an apex predator-like superhuman. And in my opinion, as Cheetah, Barbara can be a very ferocious feline. And even though it was kind of a guilty pleasure for me, I think Cheetah looks very improved than those cats from Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats. Finally, we have the main supervillain for the movie, Maxwell Lorenzo, aka Max Lord, played by Pedro Pascal. This character is a struggling yet charismatic businessman famous for TV infomercials and the founder of Black Gold Cooperative. To me, Lord is extremely charming, charismatic, and a powerful motivational speaker, with the addition of being highly manipulative and cunning in order to obtain what he seeks. And he also influences people into believing him and his words. However, after obtaining the Dreamstone, Lord becomes an extremely greedy, ambitious, and a selfish individual. Plus, he manipulates Barbara Minerva, and he puts his son Alistair into danger. But, thankfully, Lord redeems himself when Diana used her lasso to get through to him. And now let's move on to my final words. Overall, Wonder Woman 1984 is a pretty good follow-up to the 2017 film. The setting in the 80s is fantastic, the action is thrilling, Gal Gadot does an equally outstanding performance as Wonder Woman. The rest of the cast do a pretty good job, even though I still don't think Kristen Wiig was the best choice for Cheetah. No offense. Plus, I liked the use of geology and gemology. If you viewers want to see a pretty decent superhero sequel in the DC universe, I recommend you check this movie out. As for my rating, I'll give this movie an 84% out of 100. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me next time, where I look at a new biography movie centering on the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. Mustang Power.
Love Shack, Hungry Eyes, Golden Girls and Family Ties. Ollie North took the stand, Contra scandal in Iran. Love Boat, Growing Pains, Ricky Schroeder's Choo Choo Train. Swatch, Watch, Light, Bright, Oprah had an appetite. Footloose, Flash Dance, Crimping Hair, Puffy Pants, Skinny Ties, Jelly Shoes, Huey Lewis in the news. Rainbow Bright, Faith No More, Pee Wee Herman, Rocky IV, Alvin, Simon, Theodore. I can't take it anymore. We didn't start the 80s.